hadn't seen that before.
I've seen it before, but I totally forgot that it was now part of the show, and it did throw me off. It threw me off.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Disney Morning Show. I am Kyle. As you can see, I am joined by Luke today. Hi, Luke.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm good. Let's say some quick hellos because we have a lot of news to get to today.
Yeah. Hi to Fred. Hello to
Fred.
Gio.
Hello,
Hello to Jeannie.
Jeannie plus plus. Hello.
Jeannie plus plus. Okay.
JPP.
Wasn't sure if it was Jenny, so I just wanted to be. I wanted to be certain.
It's okay.
But hello to all of you.
Yes, it is sunny in the Midwest. It's going to be so. Luke, next couple days, really warm, almost 80 degrees, and then this weekend, back down to like the 50s and 60s. It makes no sense.
Yeah, but the difference is what is the most annoying.
But I'm getting ahead of myself because that was weather. But first, we need to check the Disney stock price. All right, so when we last checked in, it was at $99.76. Let's see how it's doing this morning. Ooh, we're back over $100, $176. It is down a little bit. Yesterday when I checked it, it was at 101 something, but at least it's over 100. I like to see 3 digits as a shareholder myself.
That's definitely improvement from where it was.
But now let's get to the weather. Okay.
Well, before we move on to the weather, I think it's important to note.
Yes, good call. Good call. Forgot all about it. Made the thing.
Yes.
Forgot.
But now, Kyle, on to the weather, perhaps.
You know who doesn't have a Roosevelt shirt? It's Ethan.
Hello there and welcome to another edition of the LP Disney Weather Report. I know I have good judgment. I know I have good taste. It's funny and it's ironic that only I feel that way. I promise them that you're different, and everyone makes mistakes, but just don't. I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I tell them it's just your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes. Yeah, I know. All I'm asking, baby, please, 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 don't prove I'm right. And please, 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 don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be just about perfect today with partly cloudy skies and a high of 67. Walt Disney World will be sunny today and warm to the mid-80s. Castaway Cay will be 75 today and with sunshine-filled skies. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is a few degrees warmer at 78 and will be mostly sunny. Disneyland Paris is clear tonight as it works its way down to 45 degrees from the current 57. Tokyo will see a dynamic day tomorrow, as it will reach 70 degrees and be sunny in the afternoon, followed by windy conditions and cloud cover, and, eventually, showers will be possible in the late evening. Speaking of showers, Shanghai will be rainy to start the day and hit its 70-degree high early. Then, around lunch, it will just be overcast with temps in the low 60s. Lastly, Hong Kong will be 76 tomorrow and cloudy, with a chance of short-lived showers in the early afternoon. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Well, Luke, it has been a busy morning as I teased. We got lots of news from Walt Disney World, so we're going to go through it all right now, just in case you missed it. The biggest news in my book is that we learned that Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin at Magic Kingdom, keep wanting to say Astro Blasters because I'm a left coaster, getting a major refurbishment, major update, including a brand new scene, and they're finally getting the blasters that you can lift off of the thing and actually shoot. They'll also have some other updates that even the left coast doesn't have. New vehicles, first of all. You also have different colored lasers, so you'll know which one you are, which is helpful, and you'll be able to see the laser. There's also going to be some vibrations and other things, and the targets will be more interactive. So they'll light up, and they will move a little bit, and all sorts of things. They still look like the Disneyland blasters, or similar to those. They're different, but they're like that same design. I was wondering if they'd be boxier, because you and I have both done Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle at Hong Kong Disneyland, and could see that. I imagine a lot of that technology will still be in here with the vibration and the laser, being able to see 2 different colors and things like that.
Having rode Ant-Man and the Wasp, this technology is significantly better. It really, like, number one, having the handheld blasters is so much nicer, and then the way you can react and the way it reacts, figuring out I'm struggling to say this, but you can see where you shoot, you get the reaction, and it just adds that little extra element to it. I quite frankly think that prior to this announcement, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is single-handedly the most dated attraction in all of Walt Disney World, the one that is in the most need of an update. And I've been hoping for it for years, and I'm glad it's finally happening.
That's fair. I think obviously this is not what it's going to look like. This was just an example of the targets that Benji got to check out at the event, and I can show you the short little video so you can see how it's going to light up and things like that.
Yes, that robot, I believe, will be after the load area, Geo, in that spot that's kind of right now. It's kind of just like a little black corridor with a structure in the middle, and it isn't that exciting.
Yeah. So no, I'm looking forward to that because it's been 20 years now, but Astro Blasters has been significantly better. And even Astro Blasters has been run down for some time now.
Yeah, that's starting to show its age a little bit too. Just not anywhere near as bad as this one.
I'm definitely looking forward to this. So the ride's going to close in August. It'll reopen next year with these updates. And looking forward to that. But we got plenty more news to get to. We got opening dates for both the Little Mermaid show and the new villain show coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Both of them are going to debut on May 27th. So you can see they got mostly the same concept art as we've seen before, except that they released this cute little thing for some reason.
You'll have a couple of weeks there where you can see Little Mermaid, the villain show, and Muppet Vision before Muppet Vision closes in June. And speaking of Muppets, thank you, Nikki B, for the comment on my shirt. I appreciate it.
It is a nice one. So May 27th, you'll be able to see those new shows. And if you're visiting this summer, there's going to be some special deals going on. There's free dining is returning. We talked about the Visa offer. This is basically that, but for everybody. There's an offer for 50% off kids tickets. You have to buy at least a 3-day ticket for that. There's also going to be a special 3-day 3-park ticket, which will start at $89 per day, and some other goodies. So with all of these different offers going on, you don't know which is the best one because there's all sorts of exceptions and it goes by what date you're going. So the best thing to do is just go to mousefantravel.com/laughingplace. It won't cost you anything extra. They'll run all the numbers for you and tell you what the best deal is based on your date and what you're looking for. And they will help you out. And you'll be supporting Laughing Place by telling them that we sent you there. So go to mousefantravel.com/laughingplace. That's seamless. That was the best pitch I've ever done for them because I didn't say call. And then I ruined it by saying it.
No notes.
Well, there's also going to be some special activations this summer, including some Disney-themed activities for younger guests at hotels. So this will be only at select hotels, those being the Art of Animation, Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, and Wilderness Lodge. And that'll include a bunch of different activities, but one of the big things that there'll be scheduled appearance times by characters. So as fun as it is to have that, random interactions, this way you'll be able to plan out your day. If you want to meet a character, you'll be able to know when they're going to be there and go and do that. What do you think about this? Is that a good thing?
It's an interesting selection of resorts. I'm kind of glad that they did the two values, they did a moderate, and they did a wilderness lodge. But it's interesting that they're like, we're gonna throw this in, but only for 4 out of our 25 hotels.
I mean, Caribbean Beach has had the biggest glow up in the past few years, being the hub for the Skyliner, and then now also being included in this. And there's plenty of room for it to have different activities and things. So I think
it's a good resort choice. And I guess if you're staying at the nearby Riviera, it's not too much of a walk to head over and enjoy the. I'm sure you'll be able to also partake in the stuff from Caribbean Beach.
Yeah. Well, then, rounding out our Walt Disney World news, they're also going to be focusing on special kids activities in the parks over at Magic Kingdom. Stitch, this is not Stitch, obviously, is going to be doing something at Tomorrowland. Not really clear exactly what, but there's a stage back there, so that's helpful. And Stitch has been around Tomorrowland for quite a while. But the more notable thing is that Goofy is going to be taking over Communicore Hall once the Flower and Garden Festival ends. Again, not really clear what that is, but there'll be. Let me see exactly what it says in here. Or Luke, do you remember how they described that?
Honestly, it just said that Goofy will become taking over Communicore Hall for something to do with kids. They didn't really say what it would be. But I'm guessing you're going to get some like minimal Goofy-esque decorations,
the mini
and
play
color
pavilion,
schemes.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe they could just call it that.
That'd be fun.
The community.
So anyway, that's everything from Walt Disney World. Not everything, but that's the big stuff that they announced this morning. You can check all that out on Laughing Place. But we're going to go over to the other coast now for. Since we didn't have a show yesterday, we're catching up on a couple of days worth of news, which is why it's a big slate. But Luke, tell us about this tree and why Twitter is freaking out.
The tree of Tangaroa. That's my best Tangaroa voice. So this seems like one of those classic freakouts for no reason, because the classic Tangaroa tree, which is located in the little garden pre-show area of the Tiki room at Disneyland. It's been there since the show opened in 1963. I'm sure it's had touch-ups and some replacements, but it's been around for over the years at this point, and it seems to have come to the end of its life. So they are going to be redoing the tree, but they've done a digital scan to replicate hopefully exactly what is there. So it's going to be the same thing as before, or at least what they're saying it's going to be, but just with slight modifications there.
So there you go. So keep an eye out for that. Luke, I am going to call an audible since Fred mentioned it in the chat. We did get news this morning that Avengers Doomsday is in production, and what they've been doing is there's a live stream and it's just showing cast chairs very slowly. So as you can see,
we're up to the thing.
Yes. So it's just been, every once in a while, just kind of pans over. We got another reveal. So if you're interested in that, Eric is in charge right now. Oh, it says the Thin. That's how live we're updating, is that we can typo and it will be updated
and hopefully
shortly.
Fix it.
But yeah, so we're adding to the. So far we got Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd, which was fun. That was a small chair. Wyatt Russell, Namor. Didn't see that one. That's cool.
Yeah.
And the thing. So, yep, you can check that out on Laughing Place as we watch paint dry.
Yes, Doobie. The stream is really just a painfully slow pan of cast chairs. It started at 11 a.m. and so far they've got through 9 cast members.
And I imagine there'll be a lot of them.
Yeah, so I guess it's one every 10 minutes.
Well, Luke, if this stream, meaning the Marvel stream, were on Disney Plus and you started watching it and then never wanted to watch it again, but Disney Plus kept saying, hey, do you want to continue watching this? Well, guess what, Luke? You can now tell it to stop doing that. That's right. At long last, you can remove content from continue watching. There's a couple different ways to do this. And you can learn all about it in our article. But I know this is a feature that has been requested for a very long time, and it made no sense as to why you couldn't do it. Now you finally can.
And it's such an easy, simple thing to be able to do. You just press one button and then press another button. And voila.
Exactly. So why did it take so long for them to roll it out? Nobody knows. But we also got some, speaking of Disney Plus, some casting news about the Malcolm in the Middle 4-episode revival series coming to Disney Plus in the future.
Crazy that it's only 4 episodes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we got Christopher Masterson and Justin Burfeld, both of them here, Reese and Francis, returning. But the biggest news, perhaps, is that Dewey. It's big news, but also not. It was completely expected because Eric Pierce Sullivan, who played Dewey in the original series, has quit acting a long time ago and hasn't participated in any of the reunions that they've had over the years. He's being so Dewey's being recast. It'll be played by Caleb Ellsworth Clark, and then there's some other cast members coming. We'll have someone playing Malcolm's younger brother, who was an infant on the series, and then the sister that we found out that the mom was pregnant with in the series finale. She'll be on the show. And then Malcolm has a daughter that's also been cast. So people were wondering, originally we knew that it was going to be Frankie and Bryan Cranston and Jane Kaczmarek that were coming back. Well, now we got the whole family rounded out. So there you go. Malcolm in the Middle mini-series coming to Disney Plus in the future.
I looked up the current actor, the Caleb Ellsworth Clark, and then the original actor, and they look almost identical.
They look very similar. Yeah,
they are.
We couldn't use the photos that other places did because licensing issues. But yeah, it's very funny when you see him, and he's got those ears that stick out just like Eric's did on the show.
Yeah.
So, but Luke, going back into the parks.
Yeah, we're going back to Disneyland. Going back to Disneyland just in time for the 70th anniversary. Kicks off on May 22nd. But before then, if you want to get all dolled up and dressed up for it, there's a variety of products that are now available, including a t-shirt. There's a women's t-shirt, a spirit jersey, a corksicle, some pins, and even a couple of magic key holder exclusives, which I believe is just a shirt at the moment, but I'm sure there will be lots more to come.
I like that the color scheme, this sort of like neon ombre ongoing thing, even extends to like this tag or like a neck thing. That's kind of cool.
It's very 80s color, I would say. Got a very 80s vibe to it.
Yeah, very colorful.
You can find these items. Sorry. You can find these items many locations throughout the Disneyland Resort. Disneyland stated that it's at the Emporium, Elias & Co. and World of Disney, but we also spotted it over at the Fantasia shop in the Disneyland Hotel. So there's plenty of places you can find it.
And I'm sure it'll expand from there, both in terms of the line and where it is. But while Rebecca was at the Disneyland Resort getting those photos, she also got a chance to check out the new AI test self-checkout at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta at Disney California Adventure. So what you do, or how it's supposed to work, is that you take your tray over, you place it there, the thing recognizes everything, and it's able to total up your transaction, and you pay, and you're on your way. Apparently it works well for most guests. She ran into a couple issues because she had 2 kids' meals, and I guess because it's a combo, it was having issues trying to recognize that they got one kid's meal right, but the other kid's meal was, I don't know if it was ringing up a la carte, but there was some issue. But they're working on it. They're testing it. She tried it a second time, and it worked like a charm. They were able to apply her AP discount. She just had to show the cast member, and they were able to do that for her. So yeah, that is an ongoing test. We don't know if it'll expand to other places or stick around or what. This isn't, exclusive to Disney. Other businesses employ this sort of system, but it is.
I was going to add that I actually have tried that at a pizza restaurant at World Orlando. They've been doing that for a little while now, and I remember I'm pretty sure it went off without a hitch. I had no issues with it, and the same thing there. They had a couple of cast members standing by, or ambassadors as they're known there. And I was able to have they just scanned your pass for your discount. So very, very simple, smooth, easy. And you're not really, because you have a couple of cast members there anyway when it was a register, like when it was a regular register, but you still have the cast members there to help out. So I think it makes it easier on them, hopefully easier on the guests, and quicker too.
Yeah, which can definitely be helpful during those lunch rushes.
Oh yeah.
So, sticking at Disneyland, we got some news about this retroactively closed attraction.
Yeah, even sticking in the same park, over in Hollywoodland, Disney Junior Dance Party had its final performance this past Sunday on March 23rd. And that's a show that in some form or another has been around for, 20 years, over 20 years. Started off with Playhouse Disney live on stage, became Disney Junior live on stage. This version, those versions used a lot of puppets, but this one's been more of like a dance party with, full-sized characters. Something's coming. We don't know what, and we don't know when, but they have teased that a new show will be coming later this year. So I guess we do know when, we just don't know exactly when.
Well, I had this next story in and the rest until I just now realized that it made sense to be moved up to go along with this one, and that is another entertainment offering is going to be closing, and that is the Avengers show in Avengers Campus. The one, there's a few different versions, different heroes and different villains over the years, and even day to day change a little bit. This is going to be closing. The last performance will be on April 5th, and this is partially due to the construction that's going to be happening for the 2 new attractions going there, but no word. But it's another loss of entertainment in that land. We already lost the Doctor Strange show, and now this.
And the stunt, or the performers in the Stuntronic show too.
Yeah, so now it's just Stuntronic. You don't just have Spidey coming out and giving like a preamble. It's from my understanding. I've only been to the Disneyland Resort Avengers Campus once, and it was at night. So I was going to say,
have you been to the Paris Avengers Campus more than the Disneyland one?
Yes, technically.
Yeah.
Which I do like it. It also feels small, but I think I like the Paris one a little bit better.
I think I do too. I think I like the rides of the Disneyland one better. I prefer Guardians to
Flight Force,
Avengers Flight Force, but I think I like the vibes and the feel and the architecture of the one in Paris more.
Yeah, and nice indoor queue for Spidey instead of mostly outside.
That is very true.
Well, we got one more thing in this section before we finally get to move on, and that is that this guy, who you might recognize from Abbott Elementary, his name is Tyler James Williams, and he is going to be the Dream Ambassador at this year's Disney Dreamers Academy, which isn't huge news on its face, except that it gives me a chance to mention that we'll have coverage of this year's Disney Dreamers Academy. Our own Doobie Mosley, usual co-host of this show, will be venturing back to Florida to cover this. I know he's covered it in the past and has enjoyed it, found it moving even, if you can believe it. He does have a heart. And so, yeah, I hope he gets to interview him, because I think he watches, you watch Abbott Elementary, right, Doobie? So you'll get to ask him all about being a teacher and everything. Anyway, so yeah. So watch out for Laughing Place for coverage of all of that. And that's finally the end of what's happening. And we're already 24 minutes in. Let's move on to...
He does watch.
See, yeah. I knew it.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
And speaking of abysmal, Luke's connection right now. But what's funny is that I put this review on here that he wrote, but I'm going to read it to you because I didn't know he was going to be my co-host when I added this to the sheet. So we're just going to roll with it.
I was confused by that too.
I don't want him to tell you anything that's not in the review. He needs to stick to the script. No, you can share more afterwards. But he did a review of the new National Geographic documentary, Magic of the Disney Treasure, which will be airing on Friday, March 28th. In fact, as he said, well, let me read your headline first. TV review, Magic of the Disney Treasure wonderfully details. You're just trying to work in as many ship names as possible into this headline.
Unintentional, but I should have.
The loving work that went into creating Disney's newest cruise ship. And it says National Geographic is shedding new light on the Disney treasure in an hour-long special debuting Friday, March 28th. Your final paragraph. Disney Cruise Line fans will likely won't learn much of anything new from the Magic of the Disney treasure, but it's still worth a watch for getting to see the backstage peek at what goes into creating these ships. When you're aboard a Disney ship, everything runs smoothly and seamlessly, but it takes a lot to get to that point, and special And this special does a great job highlighting that. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's less a documentary and more a paid promotion. So
Yes,
it makes
and they
sense,
say
but
as much.
yeah.
I think that's one of those things where they have to disclose the paid promotion. But it was an enjoyable time. It mainly highlighted the things that are new specifically to the treasure. So the Haunted Mansion parlor, Plot de Coco, the Tale of Moana show got the main focus. There wasn't really much about. It was a little bit about the ship itself, but that was the main focus of it. But like with some of the other specials, they did one on the Wish, they did one on Lookout Key. It's definitely worth a watch if you're a fan of cruising, which I am.
And leading up to the premiere of this special on Nat Geo on Friday, they're going to be showing some of those other ones, including the Wish one, which is funny because the subtitle still has Disney's newest ship in it. You don't want to trim that. But if you don't catch it on Nat Geo, it will also be on Disney Plus on the 29th. So there
Yep.
you go.
And the rest.
Luke, we have a little tidbit about Paint the Night.
Yeah,
At Disney.
yeah, that's a fun little tidbit. They Disney shared a little promotional thing, I guess, for I think it was like a ticket promotion or something along those lines. But it has an image of Paint the Night with an updated 70th anniversary logo on it for Disneyland. So it looks like we'll have the Paint the Night logo rotating with the 70th anniversary logo, kind of in the same way as the drum was for Parade. Over the course of its life, it would revolve from like Disneyland Presents Main Street Electrical Parade, or like Siemens Presents when they sponsored it. So lots of different things. But I'm excited for that to come around. And speaking of excitement, I personally made sure this story was in here because we got a second trailer for the new season of Doctor Who. The second season, but really the 15th since it came back, but really like the 40th overall. It's very
not confusing at all.
But yeah, this is a pretty great trailer set to Phil Collins' Take Me Home, which is a great choice because the whole conceit of the new season is that Belinda Chandra, who is the new companion played by Varada Siu, she is kidnapped and has to get home. And how does she do that? Who knows? But you'll find out. No. You'll find out. And the doctor needs to take her home. But yes, the best part of the entire trailer is that it shows a peek of them becoming animated, which is insane. The second episode is going to feature an animated villain, and it appears that they get transformed into animated villains in that case. Or not villains, I'm sorry, animated characters in that case. So it's a very fun trailer. The first of 8 episodes comes out on April 12th at 12 a.m. Pacific time, 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Well, bringing things full circle back to Walt Disney World to cap out our main segments. This new mermaid, its name is Mermaid, which is confusing because famously manatees are believed to be what led people to hallucinate and see mermaids. But this manatee is named Mermaid, and you can currently see it over at the Seas at EPCOT. As we talked about before, that facility at the Seas has been transitioned for just short-term care. So this poor little girl, I think it's a girl, has an injured tail fin, and that is why they are at the Seas right now. So unless you're going soon, you probably won't get a chance to see Mermaid, but there'll be other manatees coming in and out of the Seas going forward.
I was surprisingly there on the first day that Mermaid was there, and I didn't know about it until... But I was in there, and the cast member said, "This is Mermaid." Didn't know it was her first day.
Oh.
The fun stuff.
You know, the line, I was trying to think of this because I was wondering if this was a pocket pick or a fun stuff. And I decided that because it's in an article, it's fun stuff. That's the new metric. If we don't write an article about it, it could just be a pocket pick. But if we have an article, then it's fun stuff. So we have
That
this
makes
video
so much sense.
of Jordan Fisher singing with one of the Coke Corner pianists on Main Street.
I know this song.
He just happened to be there.
Ready to begin, let the wonder take hold. Feel it draw you in, watch the moment unfold. Spark a dream that we're meant to follow, setting out for a new tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to pause it there, but you can watch the full video over on our site or on Disney Parks' Instagram. But yeah, I think that qualifies as fun stuff, don't you think?
I would say that was very fun.
Okay.
And so
Speaking
would
of-
Jordan Fisher. He probably enjoyed that quite a bit.
Future Disney legend Jordan Fisher cannot get away from Disney. But Luke, speaking of Disney, we got big this day in Disney history. Are you ready for this quiz?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. First up, I'm confident. I'm confident in you for most of these, honestly. First up, 1931. This person was born. He is known for a completely different franchise than an actor. That's not Disney, but he is the director of 3 Men and a Baby. He's a voice in Atlantis: The Lost Empire, and he is also the director of Body Wars.
Ah, Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy.
I got it from the Body Wars.
I figured you would. That's why I put it last.
Yep.
See, we know each other. Yeah, little known fact. It's probably pretty well known at this point, but Leonard Nimoy directed the Epcot attraction Body Wars, which is fantastic. On this day in 1934, another actor was born. He has been in The Rocketeer, The Santa Claus 3, The Muppets movie, meaning I think the Muppet, the Jason Segel one. And he was in the Searchlight picture, Little Miss Sunshine.
Alan Arkin?
Alan Arkin, nice work, sir.
Hey. When you said Rocketeer, my first thought went to Timothy Dalton. But,
well, he had a birthday just like a few days ago. When Tony was co-hosting with me, so that's funny.
Interesting.
On this day in 1948, someone was born. Actually has a decent number of Disney credits for being not associated. He's a musician. And he has a big song in a Touchstone film, but he also is the star of a ride at a theme park. 2 theme parks, actually, at one time. Now just one. Soon to be
Steven
0.
Tyler.
Steven Tyler. Wait a minute. I love that idea. Of Aerosmith fame, of course. I loved when they had Rock and Roller Coaster. And then they had Armageddon at Disneyland, at Disney's Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris. You had
They really
2
should have called
Tylers
it
right there.
Really should have called it Steven Tyler Land or Aerosmith Town.
Well, and Liv Tyler. It's just Tyler Town.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Next up, on this day in 1950, a composer was born, known for a lot of different Marvel films, appropriately enough for today. And he also did Lilo and Stitch and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
A lot of Marvel films, Roger Rabbit. I think that's Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri. I think that might have been the hardest one, so I think you're on a roll.
All right, I'll take it. I enjoy my film composers, so I'm pretty knowledgeable on that, I would say.
Nice. On this day in 1985, only slightly older than me, an actress whose Disney credits include the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Okay.
And I thought I had another one, but I can't think of it right now. She's in Love Actually. That's all.
She's in Love Actually. Okay, well then that one gives it away. It's the obvious one, Keira Knightley.
It's Keira Knightley. On this day in 1985, the exact same day as Keira Knightley sharing a birthday, someone who is a voice in, I think, actually, come to think of it, Disney legend, voice in Frozen.
Okay.
And also had a recurring role on the Disney-owned Fox broadcast show Glee.
See, I was gonna say Kristen Bell at first, but then with the Glee clue, I'm leaning more towards Idina Menzel.
No, that she also was on, but no, this is a different person.
So not either of them.
Also can be seen in Disney Plus's Hamilton.
Is it the? It's not the girl from. Evan Rachel Wood.
No.
No.
How about this? It's not a girl.
Oh! Why did you say it? I swore you said it was a girl. Okay, in that case, Jonathan Groff.
Yes, Jonathan Groff played King George in Hamilton. He was. I forget his character on Glee, honestly, but he's Kristoff in Frozen.
The better clue for me would have been to say he was in an episode of Doctor Who.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
On this day, in 1994, an attraction opened at Epcot.
1994?
1994. Can you get it off of just that before I give you another hint?
Food Rocks or Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
It's Food Rocks.
Yeah.
I was going to say replaced a similar attraction, Kitchen Cabaret. Food Rocks. One that I enjoyed very much as a kid. As a fan of the Beach Boys, I liked the Beach Boys.
Food Rocks was my favorite show as a kid.
This day in 1999, Disney released an animated film based on a television show.
Animated film based on a television show. And it wasn't a television show that was based on another animated film.
It was a television show that was based on another animated show.
So it was a movie originally, then a show.
No. It was a TV show, and then a TV show, and then a movie.
Gotcha. Is it Recess?
That's a good guess, but no.
Teacher's Pet?
No, also good guess.
Rugrats isn't Disney.
You're in the right realm for a different reason.
Yeah. And it's too early for Kim Possible.
Right. I'll tell you what. It's a movie that I always wanted them to make a sequel to for a specific reason.
I have no idea.
It's Doug's first movie, which I always wanted a Doug's first movie too. So yeah, Doug was a Nicktoon with Rugrats.
Yeah.
And then was Disney's Doug, and then they made Doug's first movie.
Yes, they should have.
Incidentally, also
one and
Doug's
called it
last
Doug's first movie too.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, you did great run. You still got a couple more. I'm not going to make you guess this one. I just wanted to point out that this exists because I did not know. In 2010, Disney Channel aired Harriet the Spy Blog Wars.
The girl
it doesn't sound like it's a decom because it was also it's not Ariel Winter. Doesn't it look like Ariel
Okay,
Winter?
yeah, that's where my mind was going. Yep.
I don't think it's Ariel Winter. But yeah, didn't know that existed, but it does. And finally, on this day in 2021, a show debuted on Disney Plus.
And is no longer available to watch on Disney Plus.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. That's where that was my guess. Turner and Hooch.
No, that was a good guess. Had 2 seasons.
2 seasons. Mysterious Benedict Society.
No. It was based on a movie franchise.
Willow only had 1 season, right?
Willow only had 1 season. This was based on a 90s Disney movie franchise.
Oh, the Santa Clauses.
No.
Oh no, because that wouldn't make any sense in March. Based on a 90s Disney movie franchise. Got any other hints? Because I want to know.
I think I do. Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
Yeah, that'll tell you. I forgot about that one completely.
Yeah, well, you
And
can't
so
watch
did
it anymore,
Disney.
so Fred Ramirez got it. Doug's second movie, yeah, also an alternate title. So yeah. Yes,
I
was also
too,
on Glee, it's true.
I too loved the live show at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I don't remember it, but I remember seeing it.
I am honestly not as familiar with the Disney version of Doug as I am the Nicktoons version. That's the one that I watched. Yeah, I know the theme song, but I
They're
like
both
the Nick one better.
iconic.
They redesigned some of the characters, and so it was a little weird for me as a fan
Yeah.
of the Nicktoons version to get into the Disney one.
But not in a significant way. Like they
No.
some were and some weren't. So it was kind of just like that weird middle ground kind of uncanniness.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I will just quickly go back to the top and remind you that there is a ton of Walt Disney World news, including updates to Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin coming next year, opening dates for the 2 new shows at Disney's Hollywood Studios, several new and returning deals at Walt Disney World that you'll want to contact our friends at mousefantravel.com/laughingplace for, and some other things coming. So be sure to check out Laughing Place. Tons of news over there today. And we'll be back soon.
Since we updated you last on the Avengers cast list, 2 more names have been added, and they are Simu Liu as Shang-Chi and Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
And did we fix the typo?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Not only is there a G there, but there's also a close quote.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will be back soon on Parks Talk tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, rescheduled from Monday. That'll happen tonight. No trivia on Saturday. I figure I'm just making all sorts of broadcasting announcements now. So anyway, we'll see you real soon. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.